everyone. I'm Susie May Warren, and I'm here today with my buddy Jim Rubart. He is a Christie-nominated author, best-selling author of Rooms, and a host of other novels. And his new one, Soul's Gate, is up for a Christie nomination. I'm so excited for him. Jim is an amazing guy. He's super fun. I met him a few years ago at ACFW and have sort of been stalking him ever since. He spent years in the advertising business, and he now uses his mad PR skills to help authors create novel marketing plans as well as teach them how to sell their novel. So I'm really excited to have him here today. He's got a brand new product that is debuting in the MBT store this month called Creating a Pitch Editors and Agents Will Be Dying to Catch. And I wanted to chat with him a little bit about this product and about pitching and why we find it so difficult, and maybe get some ideas on how we can turn it from terrifying to triumph. So, Jim, I'm so glad you're here with us today. Thanks. And I want to ask you, what do you think is the greatest fear most writers face when they're pitching?
Well, it's exactly that. It's fear. They have these nerves. They feel like this is the only time they'll be able to sit in front of this editor and agent, and if they don't get it right, they've blown it forever. So they go into it with a lot of anxiety, and because of that, they don't really convey their idea in a powerful way. They don't make an impact on that editor or agent so that they'll be memorable, and they come away thinking, oh my gosh, I've blown it forever.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Pitching is terrifying. You know, your mouth goes dry, and they put so much pressure on themselves to get it right, and they start to, I find that if they memorize it, it's fine to memorize some key points, but it's almost worse because then you get stuck in this cycle instead of having like a conversation with people. And really, when you're pitching, you're really trying to sell yourself in many ways, and you want to sell the idea, but you want it to be, you're selling yourself as a storyteller. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what's one piece of advice you could really give a writer about pitching?
Well, first of all, to understand the mentality of an editor or an agent, they want to find the next great writer. And I always thought it was kind of, us against them when I was pitching and starting out. And that's not the case. They are really on our side. They would love to find somebody that's got a fresh voice, a new voice that they haven't heard before. So they want to encourage you. They are really, truly on your side.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point because people forget that, they're looking for someone that will help their publishing house, and they want a great product. They want a great story. Most editors are in this because they love great stories as well. And so they're looking for that one person that can deliver that fabulous story. And so what do you think, as you put together your talk about pitching, which is a fabulous talk, I loved it myself, what is one thing that someone's going to learn when they watch your video? Can you give us a little sneak peek, a little hint?
Yeah, pitching is show business. And by that I mean you want to leave the audience wanting more. What typically will happen in a pitch, or even around a dinner table or a lunch table where you're next to an editor or an agent, is the editor will invite you into the 15-minute appointment and say, tell me about your book. Mm-hmm. And the prospective writer will go on and on and on and on, and 14 minutes into it, they're still going. What my video will teach you how to do is give enough of who you are and make that memorable, and enough of who the book is, but not too much. You want that editor or agent to go, oh my gosh, I've got to know more about this. You've got to send me a follow-up. I'd like to talk to you more. So I give specific ways on how to do that. You want, like in show business, you want to leave the audience wanting more.
Okay, so that's awesome, Jim. I appreciate that so much. So now here's a big question for you. What should someone not do when they're pitching? One thing that you could tell us not to do.
Consider it a marriage proposal. In other words, people go into this thinking, I got to close the deal. I've got to make this thing happen. I got to give you everything I am, everything about my book, and let's get ready to sign the contract. Instead of going into this as, this is a first date. We're getting to know each other. All you want to do is put enough worms on the hook that the fish will bite. And a lot of times people want to put every single worm on the hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they would look at it as a first date rather than a marriage proposal, it would go a lot better for them.
Oh, I love that because you're absolutely right. They're like waiting for the editor to like leap across the table and go, "Yes, you're the one. I've been
Right.
waiting for you forever. Why don't you, send me your whole manuscript? In fact, don't send it. Download it tonight. Go print it off and hand it to me so I can read it on the plane." And that just isn't going to happen. And so
No.
understanding expectations and what's what they should expect out of it. But yes, the framework of mindset of thinking of it as a first date is just fabulous. And of course, just a preview of all the great fabulous stuff that you're going to tell us in this awesome video. I learned so much. I actually watched it over and over because it was just so fabulous. So so can, besides me, who else have you presented this to a group of people? Have you ever had feedback about your pitching techniques and what you teach people?
Yeah, that's the funnest thing. Does it work? Does it work? And so I love the stories, and I've had a lot of stories come back to me where it's like, oh my gosh, I did this, and it worked for me. Probably the one that stands out the most is one of the things I teach is how do you use your own uniqueness to stand out to editors and to agents. And this one gal says, well, I'm a cartoonist. I kind of do a little drawing. I said, that's fantastic. How can you use that to make yourself stand out? And so what she ended up doing is she wrote her entire pitch on 3x5 cards, cartoons. She went into the pitch and didn't say a word to the editor. She simply sat there and flipped the cards, and the story of her pitch was told through these cartoons on these 3x5 cards.
Wow.
And the editor was just absolutely blown away and asked for the full manuscript.
Wow.
I mean, that's a great example of somebody standing out.
That is fabulous. You talk a lot about shocking Broca and that idea
Yeah.
that you want to stand out, and it's such a hard thing for authors who are normally people that just stay in their little homes and write their stories to think, oh, I now have to go pitch this. I have to stand out. I have no idea how to do this. So you come up with fabulous ideas on how people can do this and stand out without going over the top and pushing the editor the other way where they want to run away. You
Right.
have that really nice marriage, which I think is super great. Now, the video is a 60-minute video along with a great study guide, and it's going to be available in the My Book Therapy store real soon. Just for everyone who's watching, if you need a jump start into knowing how to pitch your novel, this is the product for you. It really will give you sort of the confidence that you need, a good understanding of what a pitch is to help you really start building it. And I recommend it for anyone who's going to go to any conference to pitch. You're really going to want to listen to Jim and his techniques. And so we're super excited to have it in our store and to host it. It's going to be the first of many awesome Jim Rubart products to come. So it's super great. So it's going to be fabulous. And Jim, I really appreciate you being here. Do you have any final words of advice for people that are pitching and going to conferences this summer?
A big factor is believing in yourself. Editors and agents will pick up on that. Going confident because you probably do have a phenomenal story. And even if it isn't ready right then to be purchased, if you make the right impression on an editor or agent, that can come back to you in the weeks and months to come.
Absolutely. So you're saying every time you have a pitch, you are investing in yourself for now and for the future.
That's right.
Oh, that's fabulous. Jim, thanks so much for being here. We look forward to having your product in the store, and thank you for all you do to help authors pitch their books and write brilliant fiction.
Thanks, Susie. Thank you. You're awesome.
Have a great day. We'll see you, everyone.